Hey everyone, we're really excited to be here with our jewelry wish list again. JB and I are so excited to bring this back. And this week we're going to be talking about jewelry that's just out of reach. So we're choosing pieces that we might never be able to own, that we've really admired. And we're really excited. We loved putting this list together, and we're excited to share it with you.
Yes, and it was by request. You guys asked us to do this topic. So we did.
Many months ago.
A year ago. And we're back. We did it. It was really hard. I think really hard.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to go through this. And we have a special guest today.
We have a special guest. Bella Neyman's with us.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, welcome to the inner workings of JB and my brain. Usually JB and I are DMing about pieces we love. So being here to chat about jewelry is just so exciting and so fun.
Yeah, so fun. And so yeah, right, that's how it started, wasn't it? We were just like, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Yeah, totally. I think that is how it started. Yeah. And yeah, and we actually have many more chats kind of lined up. So they'll be coming at you, I think monthly. We're going to do this. We're committed to.
Yeah, we got this. I mean, this is, I think the funnest thing I've ever done is being able to talk about jewelry I want, because I think about this all the time.
Yeah, it's the next best thing to actually have it in your jewelry box.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no shortage of great jewelry out there. So you probably could do this like, you know, just like every once a week even.
We definitely could. It's endless. Well, so let's dive in. The first piece on my list is by JUDY GEIB. I think everybody has her on their wish list in some shape or form, but I saw this necklace posted by August LA, which is a store in Los Angeles, and I want it on me. It's incredible. There's some close-up photos too that I'll probably share on Instagram later, but just the craftsmanship is so incredible. It feels like fabric. It looks like fabric almost, and it just feels like something you could wear kind of just over a t-shirt maybe. I really love this piece.
Have you guys, either of you touched this, or because I know she has a couple of them?
Yeah.
What does it feel like?
Yeah, what does it feel like? I was like, Bella has, I know it.
I did a visit to her studio not that long ago, and so I mean it actually, I mean all of these pieces really do feel like fabric, you know, like they're not like heavy or anything, right? So it's like, I mean, first of all, I also adore her work and I adore her, but it's just like, it's like, you know, when you're feeling something, you're touching something really special, like that's how touching this sort of sampler necklace feels like. But yeah, it feels like it's woven, and it's very light, and you're right, Liz, like you could wear it over a t-shirt. You could probably just sleep in it, actually.
I would like to do that. I sometimes I dream about this necklace. I just think it's so stunning.
Yeah.
So agree. And I think too, what I love about this piece is like you could put this as a centerpiece on a table or something, like when you're not wearing it. It's that beautiful.
Yeah, you could hang it as art. I try to keep my earrings as art because you can't wear them all at once, and I like to look at them.
Yeah. You know, there's that great photo of Peggy Guggenheim with her cauldre headboard, and then off to the side she had like all of her earrings, like her cauldre earrings hanging, also like, you know, enjoying them as art. So like actually when I looked at your earrings behind you, I was like, oh, that's it. It's like, you know, you should look at your jewelry on the daily and like just enjoy it and admire it.
I love this. Bella and I have been talking a lot about how you store your jewelry, so this is like cool to see.
Yeah, I need to really get everything out, but you could do that with this necklace. I would hang it up in a beautiful frame when I'm not wearing it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I'm gonna borrow this if you get it.
Oh, of course, we'll share. Okay. So this yeah, we'll just do a jewelry share. It'll be great. But so this next artist, JB and I both chose pieces that were really complementary without realizing it. I chose the ring and JB chose the necklace, but really I'd be happy with either. I love the simplicity and the detail in the stone. It's just something about it just is so balanced and so beautiful.
Yeah. So, and I love what you said about Judy's piece that you could wear over a t-shirt. And that's what I envision with this. Like, if I had this, you could just wear just something so simple. And this makes it. I actually saw a picture of Jacqueline wearing this. Maybe Bella saw it in person because she was part of the Brilliant in Black show at Sotheby's. And she wore this piece to that event, the necklace anyway. And it's huge. Look, that pendant part is, gosh, I don't know, like 4 inches or something. It's huge. Like, I just think, gosh, this would just make my life better.
Definitely. It feels so 70s too. There's something so retro about it. The ring I would wear on my pointer finger, which I'm guessing the ring is really big too, but I have this photo saved and I look at it, I mean, at least weekly. I'm really enamored by these pieces.
And she designed for George Jensen, so it's like that sort of like Danish simplicity. It's interesting that that sort of speaks to her, and also like it's really evident here in this work. And I love the way the stones are set too. Like, it does kind of feel like, to me, it feels actually even a bit more like mid-century by like just the oval shape of both like the pendant and the ring. And is that rutilated quartz? What is the stone?
Yeah,
it's fabulous.
Gorgeous. I am not a big gemstone person. I'm more drawn to design versus the actual stones. And this, I think, is such a unique way to use stones. I think it's just so interesting and so beautiful.
Yeah. They're like windows. Like it's like you're sort of like you're looking into like, I don't know, like the window into like the soul of the piece. I don't know. There's something very poetic about them, both of these pieces.
And like futuristic too. Your guys' point of like design references, I always think of Pierre Cardin when I see this piece, and that like futuristic vibe, right?
Yeah. Stunning.
So stunning. So this
Oh,
next
wait.
piece,
Let's go back. Let's talk about price of this.
Oh, sure.
I did a little research on some of these because we're talking about things that are out of reach. And this one is available through Carpenter's Workshop, and it's about 35,000 pounds for this piece, which is definitely out of my reach, guys. Like, there's no way this would ever happen in my world. But
we could never afford it. I'd love to try it on though, both of these pieces.
Yeah, me too.
And speaking as art, I would hang the necklace too. I would hang it next to my Judy GEIB necklace for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Moving on.
No worries. Okay, so this piece is on Bella's wish list.
Yeah, it was when I was putting together this list, it's hard because as much as I love like contemporary jewelry, I also really love antique and I love artist jewelry. And so I was like, I can't just focus on, like contemporary, because there's so many pieces I would love to have that have, historical significance. And so I think for me, like Wendy RAMSHAW is the queen. And this piece is actually, speaking of, jewelry that can be purchased, this is through Minna's collection. And I love it because it's a little bit different than some of her discs, and it has sort of the same elements as her stacking rings, really the one, like what she sort of has made her name with, right? Like, and I love the story. I love that she started making these stacking rings because it came from a commission. Like, a woman approached her and she had this one fabulous, stone that she wanted to set. And Wendy said, well, like she was sort of up for the challenge, but then she said, why should you have one beautiful ring with one stone? You should have multiple rings with little stones. And that's how like her stacking rings became a thing. And so this necklace has that element, right, of these like smaller stones all around. And so it kind of makes me think of the rings, but also I love how sculptural this is. And I love how she's playing with color, and I love how she's playing with shapes. It's really just, it's like sculpture, you know, for the body. So I love this piece. But I should have looked up the price and I didn't. But anyway, Manah's collection has it, so we can go back and figure it out.
Yeah, no, I love that you put this in here. I have to say, when we were talking about having you be in the wish list, which we've all been talking about for a while, I was like so excited for this one because I knew you would bring vintage, like really cool vintage and cool contemporary stuff. And I was really excited to see what you would bring. But also, I love that look, let's be honest, Liz and I just geek out over Jewelry We Want, and Bella's dropping some serious knowledge here.
No, I just meant like I love
amazing. But
I just felt like I love those elements.
No,
in
I
this.
love it. I love hearing the backstory. But it makes me think. So, Liz, I'm trying to get Bella to do a podcast where she talks about all these like stories behind the jewelry. So I just want to throw that into the world as we can all pressure her to start.
I love that idea. And I'm like, she showed up knowing
I know.
designs. This is awesome.
I'm like, do you do this casually?
I was like, I'm
here for it. I'm here for it. I
love it.
It's also, I don't know Bella that well. I don't know you that well, but this necklace looks like something you would wear.
Oh, yeah.
Shapes and colors. It just like feels very you, which is cool to see.
We're going to put that out into the, you know, jewelry atmosphere, that this is something I need to wear.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, so that's actually what I really do love about vintage. I love that. I love seeing it out more and more. And I love that more women are wearing vintage and they're wearing artist jewelry, because the idea was to wear it. And I know that like now, obviously it's so precious because it's, you know, like it's old, but at the same time, it's meant to be worn, like it's jewelry. So like these masterpieces belong in someone's body. So yes. I'd love it for it to be mine.
Well, and I think too, just to go back to Manah's, like Manah's collection, which is based in New York, is like full of dream pieces.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
I visited their gallery once during Jewelry Week, I think several years ago.
Yeah. And they just had a great exhibition about women of vision, women, you know, leading the way for other women, and Wendy was part of that exhibition. So it kind of reignited my love for her work.
That's amazing. Great. Well, so this next pick is JB and I again. We both chose pieces from LOREN NICOLE, which was very expected.
Yeah, we knew. We were like, okay, when we both pick a piece, we'll just combine that slide.
Yeah, definitely. But it was interesting that we both picked rings, because I think we've done earrings before in previous wish lists. And also I would love one of her handcrafted chains too. But I chose the Roman ring with this diamond channel set on the bottom. I'm really drawn to like the pop of diamonds with high carat gold right now. And this ring is just super sculptural and cool. And I just love that added sparkle.
Yeah, I love that it's like slanted. It looks really substantial. Yeah, I chose this pearl ring, this ring costs just under 7,000, which is on the list of things that I picked today, the cheapest of the bunch. But even at that, like it's I think like 6,600 or something. I think it's still way out of reach for me, but I die for this ring. Oh my God. Like I really need this in my life.
I love it. It's very you.
So gorgeous. Look at that. I can't get over it. It was really hard to pick one thing from LOREN, to be honest.
Oh, so challenging. And she's like constantly putting out new stuff that I'm just in love with.
I love it. I know. It's like breathtaking. Every time you see a new like Instagram post from her, I'm like, really?
Yeah. And she makes every single piece herself. She doesn't have anyone helping her, which blows my mind too, because she's constantly making. And there's actually this Roman ring, there's actually a reel on her Instagram where she's showing kind of the process making it, which is really cool to see.
It's a really interesting design. I'm actually really curious what it looks like on and like if it's how comfortable it is, and you know.
Yeah, I have pictures, so I will share those on Instagram.
Okay, yeah, we want to see.
Cool. So this next pic is from Bella, by an artist I love, Lola Brooks.
Mm-hmm. She's my all-time favorite. Like she is so a little bit of like a backstory. I'm turning 40 this summer, and I always knew that like for my 40th birthday, my daughter, I'm sorry, sitting in the background, like just commenting. I always knew that for my 40th birthday, I would get a piece by Lola Brooks. Alas, here it is, and I can't afford it. So she, I think, will always be on my wish list. And I had such a hard time actually picking a piece for the wish list of hers, because I love all of her work, and she does these incredible brooches, always sort of very much inspired by Victorian jewelry, and it's always sort of and memento mori, and it's romantic and beautiful and sad, and it's just all the things, and each piece is made by hand by Lola, but it's all brooches. And I also love bows. I'm obsessed with bows, but I would want a necklace, right? Because the brooches are really quite large, and I always think about like wearing jewelry. I can't just have it sit in, you know, in a jewelry box. So when I saw this necklace, I said, oh my God, like if I could, I would own this one. And it's, you know, chain, it's all like handmade. And I love that it sort of this play on, you know, jewelry, but also textile and clothing. And it actually reminds me of that Judy GEIB necklace you showed, kind of that same idea, right? Of like something that is like almost like a second skin, but also could be, you know, clothing and adornment. So yeah, I love this piece.
Yeah,
Incredible. I love it.
And this is from Sienna Patty. This is one of her, you know, she sells this piece.
and that bow is probably pretty big, right?
Oh, I'm sure it's huge.
So cool.
Yeah. Her pieces they're also statement pieces. I like big jewelry.
I love that.
I think we all like big jewelry, but big.
I mean, look at our earrings, like all of us just sitting here, like
our big jewelry. Totally. Yeah, it's her. I love Lola, and meeting her is really incredible too. I think it's an experience.
Yeah.
Great person.
Yeah. I actually think that all of the pieces I chose, like sort of thinking about it, the personalities of the designer is always really important to me as well. And I think, or the jeweler or the artist, or, you know, whoever's made the piece, I think sometimes you sort of buy into that as much as you do it. You buy into who they are as much as you do into the work, you know, and Lola like represents her work so well. And, you know, yeah.
Definitely. And to your point about choosing pieces that are out of reach, but also wearable. I think JB and we struggled with that a little bit because we're practical. We're pretty practical. We didn't want to throw on pieces onto the list that we would never see ourselves actually wearing in our real life. So we thought about that a lot too.
Yeah.
That was interesting for this assignment to think, because there are pieces of jewelry that are really beautiful. Like I'm a big fan of Glenn Spiro. And I love to look at those. But then when I was making this list and I had like a little short list of people to research, I went to his and I thought, gosh, I don't know that I would wear it. I'd love to have it and look at it. That's a great reason to have it too. But I being practical, right, as we talked about, wearability, I think is really important.
So just in terms of a price range, I just looked it up quickly. This necklace, the price range is $10,000 to $15,000. So maybe for my 75th birthday.
Maybe one day. Yes, totally.
50. Let's dream big, girl.
Yes, 50. You're right. We're just gonna push it off by 10 years.
Fine.
I love it. So this next piece, which I actually need 2 of these, I need to wear them layered. But Fernando George, I love all of his work, but I've been really into the idea of a diamond necklace. I think that's been kind of a trend recently, a lot of people wearing diamond necklaces. And And I was like, I need to include that on the list. Talking about practical, would wear it every day. I'd wear it to story time and the playground, and I would just not take it off, but I'd need to. But Fernando George is just such an incredible craftsperson, and his work is so amazing. I just really fell in love with this necklace because it's so thoughtful. It's not just a diamond necklace, it's a work of art.
Yeah, it's so, I mean, all of his stuff is just like so innovative in that realm of fine jewelry. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I really love some of his like carved stone pieces that he's been doing too. Really into that. But I was kind of sold on this based on just the look on this model, to be honest, and like both of those layered together.
Yeah, and that velvet jacket or whatever that is
Yeah,
cool.
it's my color. It's one of my favorite colors. But yeah, so really practical piece that I'd wear all the time. I mean, if you could say that a diamond necklace is practical, but it would certainly be something I'd wear all the time.
Some people probably are like, oh yeah, I got that. I got 2 of those.
Yeah, when you're in Instagram land, there's a lot of people doing that. So
yeah.
Okay, so next is a pair of earrings on JB's wish list from Nicholas Varney.
Yeah, Bella and I have been talking about Nicholas Varney a lot lately, and I have like I mean, on all the Instagrams that I'm behind, I have a lot of Nicholas Varney saved, and these I'm just like so obsessed with. Earrings are like my category that I love the most, but these are the only earrings I picked. Which is weird. I have no idea why, but these are really interesting because it's not only such an amazing design, but these are a mix of different types of pearls. And these pearls are very rare. And I love the color story here. I love that it's a very unexpected stone. And of course there's diamonds, which like you, Liz, and I think like Bella as well, diamonds are not the first thing I think of when I think of jewelry, nor is it something like I even try to get, but it's like the perfect added sparkle. You know, it reminds me of like when you see like, this is kind of weird, but when you see like an amazingly designed bathroom with tile and it blows your mind, that's what these earrings do for me. It's like, wow, just like the texture and the color combination. It's amazing. I have no idea how much these are. I did some research into prices of his stuff, but he doesn't have his online presence is very minimal. But I guarantee there's a way out of my reach for the rest.
Just knowing the rarity of the pearls, these are probably very, very expensive, but I love them.
Yeah, they're stunning. JB, I can like they're so you, like I can see you wearing them every day. But also when the shape of it made the design and the shape of the way the stones are, it also makes me think of bows actually.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what pops out. And for some reason, I don't know, like that's just, I mean, again, I love bows, so maybe I just see bows everywhere, but like that just really sort of jumped out at me too. And what is it? So what is the diamonds are set? What is that other stone that's in the center?
I don't know if oh, agate. That's agate.
Oh, it's agate.
Yeah. And that graduated shape, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'll post this one up with all the info on the materials because it's quite extensive and
yeah, it's stunning.
These are amazing. I really want you to be wearing them right now. You're right, Bella. They look so JB.
Yeah.
They're just like, whoa. I wonder how big they are too. I mean, I'm hoping they're
probably big. I feel like, yeah.
Probably.
So by Jewelry Week, this is what I want to see on opening.
Right, yeah. I mean, maybe when I'm 50 as well. No, that's really soon. Let's not talk about that.
It's more pressure than the.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Maybe just have a chance to try them on and wear them to an event.
Yeah. I wonder if someone owns them. I don't even have. I'm gonna write to Nicholas Varney, guys. We're gonna
ask him.
Reach out.
Yeah, let's find out.
Yeah.
So speaking of big earrings, I think these are on a lot of people's wish lists, but 10,000 Things made these earrings, and they do them in a bunch of different stone colors, but I love how big they are, but also how kind of slim they are, and just the balance of it all. There's something really beautiful about them. And this is an attainable pair of earrings. I mean, in the realm of prices we're looking at here, I think these are $6,000. I'm not sure exactly on the price, but they're something that maybe I could afford one day. But I really love these in every single color stone available.
They're so
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that the design of these, they're mobiles. Like that's what when I see them, that's what I always like. And it's so funny because I think if there's one pair of earrings that's like an editor's favorite, it would be these. Like there's sort of every jewelry editor has a pair of these. It's like I don't know, it's like a Birkin almost, because they're fabulous. And I think they're even better in person.
I'd love to see them in person. And even they do smaller versions of these, and kind of this collection has a lot of different designs within it. I love them all just because there's like some simplicity to it that I really appreciate. And just even though they're really big, they feel wearable.
Yeah. I love what Bella said about the mobile, because that's what I think of too, is the movement. When I see these, I just think, wow, these are going to move so good. And just like the ones you're wearing, Liz, like the movement is so good.
Yeah, actually all of our earrings were just moving as you were saying that. And I think that I love a big earring with movement. I don't like when they're too,
stiff.
Yeah.
So
I actually got these from you, Liz. Do you remember?
Yeah, you did. Avery Lee, right?
Yeah. And you had like a raffle.
I did. That was a couple years ago. We raised money for Crafting the Future.
Yeah.
I love those. I love these. Maybe one day I'll get to wear them. So this next pair of earrings is so Bella and on Bella's list.
Yeah. So Silvia FURMANOVICH, I'm obsessed. I think JB and I are both actually in love with her. Whenever we go to Bergdorf's, we're always just like standing in front of the cases. And I mean, honestly, it was impossible to pick a pair. So like, it doesn't even matter which pair of her earrings. Like it could literally, any pair could be up here and I would want them. I chose these because, several things. The shape I just find to be so unusual, that kind of like fan shape. I love the marquetry. Like I love, every time she's inspired by different cultures and different countries and works with local artisans. And I mean, I love that how much research and thought goes into the creation of all of her collections. I also love the colors of this particular, like this sort of really beautiful, like pale purple and like, the violet and lilac and like, they're stunning. I also love her bags. So, I mean, which I also think they're also jewelry, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah.
So these are marquetry. I was curious what this one was.
Yeah. So it's all, and I think that's a lot of people assume that it's like all painted. And so I'm always just amazed by how she's sort of able to put out a new every year or every couple of years, because the techniques are always different for each collection, because she's working with local artisans and really trying to sort of bring forth the best of each culture and their work. But yeah, so these are marquetry. Sorry, very long.
Almost put a pair of earrings by her on from her new tapestry collection that she debuted at Couture this year.
Yeah.
Obsessed. I love it so much.
Yeah. And I know, insane.
Yeah. So insane. Constantly innovating, which is so cool.
Yeah.
So this is a pendant I've had on my wish list for a long time from Polly Wales, her padlock pendant. And she has a version, I included this picture because she has a version where it's on this kind of cool chain that she does. But I don't know why I love this necklace. It's something I would wear every day with my Fernando George diamond necklaces. I love Polly's work so, so much. I would love everything from her probably, but this pendant I just think is really, really special.
Yeah, this is so pretty. You need this with those necklaces.
Right. And that would be my layered look that I'd wear all the time. But yeah, Polly's work, something about it just feels so delicate. There's something so intriguing about it too, just because I think her process is so, how she gets the stones like that by doing casting is just, it blows my mind. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah, she's the best at it too, I think.
And I love her jewelry, I mean, it's really like her signature. Like when you see a piece of Polly Wales, like, you know, it's her work, because she has her own unique style. And I, there are a lot of designers who I think are inspired or try to emulate it, but she's the original. So
yeah, and she's always pushing the boundaries too. I think she's always innovating. She's always pushing herself forward and doing stuff, creating pieces, even though maybe they're not what's going to sell necessarily. But I think she's always pushing the boundaries. And then also, I just wanted to point out, earlier this week, I asked my Instagram audience what was on their wish list, and a lot of people chose the Polly Wales skull ring. She does a skull ring that's kind of covered in stones. That's really incredible. Several people chose that. So I think I just wanted to point that out.
I was just thinking of that skull ring when I saw that rainbow version of this. She comes from contemporary jewelry, actually, which I think is so cool. Like that, how she transitioned into this space in fine jewelry and really like rethinking how it could be done. And I think you see that in her work. She's a real artist.
Yes, definitely. So this next ring is on Bella's wish list.
Yes. So we had the pleasure of working with Daniela Villegas in 2020 for New York City Jewelry Week. And literally, like, as I was saying earlier about being obsessed with the maker as much as with their jewelry, I think her personal style is so cool. And just, who she is as a person, like, she's just like the loveliest. And so I like the way she wears her jewelry, like, it also was really hard for me to pick. Because a lot of her rings are like the beetles and the scarabs, and I love that stuff. And I have like, there's such a, in my collection of jewelry, I have pieces that are like cicadas and beetles, and so it very much sort of speaks to me. So I did end up choosing an alpaca ring because I'm obsessed with llamas and alpacas, like as an animal, like this is like my animal. So I love this ring, and it's actually it's sapphires. It's like the little alpacas wearing a necklace, like it's like jewelry for your jewelry, right? So I really love that too, yeah. Right?
I love that.
I mean, how great is that? And it's garnets and sapphires. That was the other stone I couldn't remember. And this, I do know the price of this. It's around $5,000. But I mean, I just love everything about it. And again, like, this was one of those cases where any of her pieces I would be happy with, but this one,
I was looking at her stuff when I was doing this. She was on my short list, but then I was like, oh, Bella will put her. Yeah. I knew it. I was like, Bella will put her on. It's fine. But I love this one. I have never seen this one. I love it. It's so
yeah, isn't it great? And I also love animal rings in general. Like, on my definitely unattainable wish list is this jeweler Moshe Oved, who made a lot of sculpted animal rings, but those were made in like the 30s and the 40s. And so what I love, this ring reminds me of that, and you can probably even like stand it up, like, speaking of like displaying your jewelry, you can stand it up when you're not wearing it.
I love it. I also love alpacas. There's an alpaca farm near my house where you can go and pet them. So if you're ever in Asheville, that's what we'll do.
Perfect. That sounds lovely. And Asheville is incredible.
Okay, on the ring trend, this one's on JB's wish list.
Oh yeah, Studio RENN. I just, their jewelry, when they came out, this was one of the earlier, they did a collection, this piece, and then they did a collection where the rings are bleeding. Like there's rubies coming out of the pieces, which it was hard for me to decide which one, but I think this is the one I'd wear, so that's why I picked it. But I love that they're just so very real in their approach. Like they created rings that were bleeding, like, and they were gorgeous, right? And this piece is so cool from all different angles. It sits really tall and the stones are set in reverse, which is so cool. And I love the ombre, and it's covered all the way around. The whole band is covered in these sapphires and diamonds. But yeah, I'm obsessed with them. And we're actually preparing for a really cool release with them for Jewelry Week this year, which is really exciting. But yeah, man, this ring is just the
I
coolest.
love reverse set stones.
Yeah, this one's a 12,000, which honestly I feel like is a steal for this ring versus everything else that's on our list today.
Yeah, I would have guessed more.
I know, right? Yeah, somebody get this already.
Yeah, incredible. And continuing the ring trend still, I couldn't decide. When I was putting my list together, I was really drawn to diamond rings, like unique diamond rings, not just standard diamond rings. I need a diamond ring for every finger, I guess. Even though we're saying we're not super drawn to stones, and that's not something that's like drives us, it's more the design. But I had to like choose one. I couldn't choose them all, right? And LEEN is just, I want to touch this work. I've never touched it before. I've never seen it in person. It feels like it would be so incredible and comfortable and amazing. I'm sure, Bella, you've tried designs on.
I actually thought this was JB's pick because
yeah, I did try them all on.
Yes, she has. We just recently saw them all in person. So I thought this was hers.
Yeah, amazing. I just, how this diamond is set with the, it just feels so, I don't know.
How is it even possible? Like that is
set like possible.
It looks like, and it looks like taffy. Like that's what I love. And like that gold is just like, he's like spinning it and then stretching it and then just wrapping it. It looks edible and soft and
There's a lot of, I mean, just in this wish list alone, what I love is like that gold has played a really big role, but in a really sort of beautiful, traditional yet untraditional ways. Do you know what I mean? Like I love to see that designers are using gold in innovative ways, using really beautiful different like carat of gold, but I was, the word I'm looking for escapes me at the moment. But anyway, they're sort of the way they're treating gold, you know, like from the matte to sort of more polished and really beautiful.
Yeah, so many different textures. And I included this ring too because I saw it and I was just like, I need to wear both. I need the diamond ring and then this ring next to it on my pointer finger or on one of my fingers. So I need both of these. Yeah. Sorry, I cheated a little.
Alloy, that's the word I was looking for. I love that there are sort of all the different alloys of gold. Like you know, from Loren's work to this work, like I love they're all really sort of soft and warm.
Yeah. I love too the stone, speaking of diamonds, like it looks like it's like almost like a pancake kind of flat. I don't know if it is, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm so bad at cuts of diamonds, but I'm guessing is a rose cut or
it looks like it.
So I love a rose cut diamond. I love that kind of style. But yeah, it doesn't feel like a traditional diamond. You might not even guess it's a diamond. Could be a different stone. But just the way it's set feels so nice and cozy. Something about it. I love it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, so this next necklace is on JB's wish list.
Bella probably knows I was gonna pick this too. I'm obsessed with this line. It's made by a woman named Sarah Beltran. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but she does a lot of pendants and some like really incredible earrings. And she does a lot of shells and like beach inspired, which this is a shark tooth necklace with emeralds. And the pendants in her collection are not too expensive. They're like around 1,500 for like some really like stunning ones. This necklace is 28,000, which is well out of my price range. But oh my God, the same thing, a t-shirt, right? Like just have a t-shirt, put this on. I would definitely get some sort of locking system for the back of this because this beautiful clasp here, I don't know if it's so much a clasp as like a beautiful thing. Those are actually emeralds that are set just as they are like a gypsy set on the back there. So I feel like I would have to chain this to myself in some other way, but I love this. It's just, I die.
I really love emeralds. Recently, I never knew much about them, but just the unique inclusions in them, the different colors, the depths of green. I think it's so interesting that they're all different shapes and you can see, even though it's not a super close-up picture, that they're kind of different colors and have all these beautiful inclusions. And I love that.
Yeah. So
I want to see more of it. Like I want to see more of this necklace. Like I want to sort of see it from the side and from the back too.
there's more pictures on her website that you can see it.
We'll have to share more.
Yeah, I want to try this on. I love everything she makes, honestly.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's all very her. Like it's just, you know, it's by this designer.
Yeah, it's like moody too. Like all of her work's kind of got like a whole mood to it. Okay. Gorgeous.
So the next pick are earrings.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm not a diamond person, like we kind of, but this is Maliya's line of diamond jewelry is essentially like the only diamond jewelry that I get excited about, just because I think it's so fresh and it's so innovative. The earrings that are on the right hand side, they're kind of like the twisty, that I saw those first and I was like, oh my God, like they're hoops, which is like classic, but they're so something, there's so fresh about them, and I love the way the diamonds are set, and then the hoops on my left, I've seen those in person recently, actually in Vegas. JB and I saw them at JCK. Actually, I think both pairs were there. They're like in my dreams, so like I've forgotten where I've seen them because they're like literally, but again, like it's just a diamond hoop, but I love that she's also added the drops to them, and this is like so uncharacteristic for me, but I love her work, and I like, if I could own one pair of diamond hoops, well, okay, if I could own two pairs of diamond hoops, because I'd have a hard time deciding between these. That's what I would want.
Yeah.
That's great. I love I saw these, I think Lizzo wore them or somebody wore them. I think
they're like everywhere. She's been wearing them too.
They're so
I love them. I love hoops, which JB, an idea for a wish list is just hoop earrings. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But these are great. I love them.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Because I think I think there probably isn't a jewelry designer out there who has not done a hoop ear. Like it's just like,
yeah,
So
true. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many cool hoops. These are great. I hope you get them. These would be great.
mean, like everything on this list, I hope I get it.
Okay, a few more here. On my wish list is this incredible ring by KELTY. This actually was part of my New York City Jewelry Week exhibit last year. And she works with an artist who paints an eye using enamel, and then it's set under a portrait cut diamond. And I've been dreaming of one of her eye pieces. I love this ring, but any of her eye pieces would be amazing. She does charms and pendants and things like that too. I would get my son's eye painted, but it's pretty high on my wish list. This ring is over $12,000. So not something I can afford, but so incredible. And then I included this picture of it on my hand next to my Gabriella kiss ring because I just love this photo.
They look really good together.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I love eye jewelry.
Yeah, I do too. For my husband's 40th birthday, which coincided with our 10-year wedding anniversary, I had the artist Melanie Beilinker make me an eye ring out of hair, but it's out of my husband's hair, and I sent her a photograph of him, so it's his eye. So it's a lover's eye ring essentially, and it was his 40th birthday, but I gave myself the present.
I love that.
Also coincided with our anniversary, so I was like, "Oh, this is the perfect occasion."
Yeah, that's fun.
I love that so much. I love the whole concept of lover's eyes.
Mhm.
I love that. I want to see a picture of that, Bella, if you don't mind sharing.
No, I will happily post. I don't have it on right now, but I will happily share it.
Oh, amazing.
And I love Gabriella Kiss's rings. They're also on my wish list, actually. I love her jewelry.
We're gonna do a whole wish list on Gabriella Kiss.
Oh my God.
We are.
I am obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, people halfway through are gonna be like, really?
Yeah, it's like everything. Wait, JB, can we share our story of visiting Gabriella Kiss?
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
my gosh, please.
We had, when we first started New York City Jewelry Week and we had launched our Instagram, we did a visit to her studio, and it was actually one of like my fondest memories, like over the last 5 years.
Because we also saw that comedian at
Amy Schumer, yeah.
We also saw Amy Schumer on the way.
Yeah, we drove out to Gabriella's home and studio, which is like upstate New York, and so it was like a day trip, like it was a whole experience. And when we got there, we were like totally immersed in her beautiful world, and she was just so lovely, telling us, like sharing stories about all the pieces, and it was such an experience. It was incredible. And
but she doesn't allow people to take pictures of her studio, which we didn't prepare for that part. Even
the whole purpose of the trip was to photograph it for social media.
I mean, sometimes you just start businesses and you're like, let's wing it. And that was us back then.
It's still us.
But it's still us, let's be honest. Yeah. Yes, but it was so funny. We got there and she was like, no, please don't take pictures. We did take some pictures, and hopefully she doesn't see this and get mad, but we never shared them. They were just for us to.
That's amazing. I used to curate the new designer gallery at JA New York, and I think it was my first time at that show, but I heard that Gabriella Kiss was stone shopping there, and I was like, I need to find her. And I found her stone shopping, and I met her, and that was the first time I'd met her, the only time I'd met her. And she was wearing a ring on every single finger, like these ring stacks. She let me take a picture of them. It was incredible. She was very friendly, even though I probably seemed like a stalker.
Right. She's like, yeah. Well, wait, I have another great story. I'm sorry, we're gonna just take a moment here around Gabriella, who's not even on our list today. Just like, that's how great she is. Well, I can't remember which way this was. Gabriella Kiss wanted to go to a program that we had during Jewelry Week that was hosted by Judy GEIB, or Gabriella was hosting and Judy wanted to go. I don't know. I don't remember the order of this, but there was a snowstorm that day. And so it must have been Gabriella coming. She couldn't come because it was really far. And so she was obsessed with Judy GEIB and had never met her. And so through Jewelry Week, this is I think the best thing we ever did as Jewelry Week is Judy GEIB reached out, or Gabriella reached out to Judy, and now they're friends because of us.
Gosh, amazing.
And they go on trips together and emerald shopping, and
Imagine
collaboration. Can you imagine a collaboration between those two?
I know.
Mind blown.
Mind blown, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, amazing.
That's amazing. I love that whole segue.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kelty's super talented too. So look at her work. Artist she works with.
Where is she based?
She's in Canada. I think where in Canada? I'm not sure where in Canada. I think the eastern side. But Yeah, she works with this artist named Robin who does the eyes for her. Really incredible.
Yeah, I went down a rabbit hole about her last year when she was in your program at Jewelry Week.
Yeah, so friendly too. Very, very friendly.
Yeah.
Which does factor into when I love jewelry. If the artist is friendly, then I extra love it. Okay, so this necklace is on JB's wish list.
I love this. I don't actually even know what this is made out of. Pearls and, I don't know, ebony? I don't know, maybe Bella knows. But we saw this at TFAF this year. And I couldn't find it online. I took this picture actually. And I would wear this every day. It's so good. I don't know how much it is. I'm guessing like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for that. Her stuff is pretty pricey. So
yeah, I love the simplicity of this.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, and I love, you know, with pearls, like I mean, over the last couple of years, we've seen pearls just have such a huge presence, you know, in the jewelry world. Once again, like I think pearls never, I don't think they ever actually go out of style, but I think every number of years, all of a sudden there's like a huge wave of like pearl jewelry. And what I love is the last couple of years, it's all been really innovative and interesting, and it really makes pearls like feel really fresh and young. And I mean, I think Anna's just like everything she does feels very like, it's just like, I don't know, it's like you want to be that woman. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just something like.
You're right. That's what it is. I am not this woman who it's like, but I want to be. I can
see you wearing this, definitely.
I mean, you're a pretty cool woman as you are, so I think you can.
It's so good. Yeah. And all of her stuff, I mean, she does a lot of like these wood pieces and quartz like that she'll cut flat, and it's a lot about the shape of the piece. And I think this one I really love because there's no stones on it. She does do a lot of stones, but this one, there's just something so elegant about the simplicity of it.
It's like a yin and a yang kind of thing too, you know?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah, really beautiful. Okay, so the last piece is on Bella's wish list.
So, you know, again, like, I think, first of all, it's interesting that we included all women jewelers, I think, on this wish list.
Yeah,
mostly. Yeah.
Right? I think this is so I think that was also when I was, you know, I realized that a lot of the jewelry that I love is made by women. But a couple of things with this piece. So generally speaking, in my collection, I like to buy the work of my contemporaries, and I like to buy jewelry that is also made from non-traditional materials. Like that to me is always, or non-traditional materials, sort of things that are really unexpected. And so this piece is kind of interesting to me because, first of all, it's not made by my contemporary. And it's also actually made from precious materials. I mean, these are made from gold. But what I'm attracted to it is the fact that while it's made from gold, it's actually meant to look like cardboard. So there is still this play on materiality, which I really absolutely love. And then the other thing is, so it's yellow gold, and then the staples are white gold. So, I mean, this is really such a work of art. And then this piece is really unattainable. I mean, it's like $20,000 to $25,000, but David also makes these bracelets and rings in silver. So in silver, they're actually much more affordable. I mean, still several thousand, but not 25. But this is a museum piece, you know, this is one of those pieces that, you know, like I think his work, most major museum collections that are interested in contemporary studio jewelry will have his work. And it's kind of, you know, it's sort of like a once in a lifetime. I love also that it's a heart, because the other cardboard pieces, they're either sort of these kind of circles or squares or rectangles, so it's very sort of geometric, a little bit quirky, a little bit off kilter. This is still, right, like it's not a perfect heart, right? It almost looks like if you're playing with cardboard, you know, and you were like, you just sort of folded it together. But I love it. And it's on my wish list for one day. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. His cardboard pieces are on my wish list too. They're, I mean, anyone I think who is familiar with his work and his legacy while still alive is like obsessed with this thing. It's so cool. And it really looks like cardboard. I know this picture, it's kind of hard to see the edges there, but
The grainy.
yeah, it really looks like cardboard. It's crazy.
Wow.
So good.
So cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we did a wish list.
We did it.
Thanks for joining us, Bella.
Oh my God, this was so fun. Thank you for having me. But you know what's hard is when somebody says put together a wish list, you're like, I don't know what I want. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's because I think there's so many things that I would want that it's like, it was very hard to narrow down to 6 pieces. But anyway, but thank you for having me. This was really, really fun.
So fun. You have to come back and do it again.
Yeah, definitely. Because we're going to be at some point doing this weekly. So.
Right. Yeah.
Then it's like a shopping list. It's just like that. It's just like, you know.
Yeah.
What do I want to buy?
Whatever.
Well, thanks for being here, everyone. And we'll be back soon.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Bye.